I'm Manny Jarrett, and I will be talking about the physics of running with the concepts of motion, work, and force. Speed is the rate at which an object covers a distance and is measured in meters per second. Velocity measures the rate and direction of motion, and its units involve meters per second and a direction. The formula for velocity is change in distance over change in time. If someone were to run 800 meters north in 3 minutes, which is 180 seconds, you divide 800 meters by 180 seconds to get a velocity of 4.4 meters per second north. Acceleration is the change of velocity, so it can be calculated by subtracting the final velocity by the initial velocity over the change in time. In this video, I accelerated by changing both my speed and direction, which changed my overall velocity. Work is when a force is applied and causes a displacement. The formula for work is the force multiplied by the displacement. If someone weighed 130 pounds, they would have a force and gravity of 578 newtons. And if their displacement was 200 meters, their total work would be 115,600 joules. Kinetic energy is the energy of an object due to its motion and depends on mass and velocity. It's also measured in joules. The formula for kinetic energy is 1/2 times the mass of the object and the velocity squared. Power is the rate at which work is done and how much energy is put within a certain amount of time. The formula for power is the amount of work over the time the work took. If we use the amount of work from the previous problem and it took 40 seconds to travel the 200 meters, the amount of power would be 2,890 joules per second. A normal force is a contact force that exists when an object is in contact with a surface. It acts in a direction perpendicular to the surface. So a runner would have a normal force when their foot pushes off the ground. If someone's mass was 59 kilograms and the acceleration of gravity on Earth is 9.8 meters per second squared, you'll multiply those to get the normal force of 578.2 newtons. Frictional force is the force exerted by a surface as an object moves across it or makes an effort to move across it. One of the frictional forces when running is the ground. The ground acts parallel to the runner in the opposite direction. It depends on how the ground and the runner's foot interact and the normal force between them. The frictional force of the ground allows the runner to push off the ground and propel themselves forward. There is also another frictional force of air resistance. The air acts opposite to the relative motion of the runner and slows the speed of the runner. Long-distance runners use the technique of drafting in order for some runners to avoid air resistance. The runners form in a line where the front runners go against the air and block the majority of the air resistance for the rest of the group. The two frictional forces act in opposite directions. The friction of the ground allows the runner to move forward by pushing off the ground. The air causes a resistance against the runner and causes the runner to slow down their speed. Thank you for watching my video on the physics of running with the concepts of motion, work, and force.
And the bass keeps running and 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 running and